All right, so Bengals Wire posted this article, which is Bengals' five biggest causes for concern versus Titans in Week 4. So let's go ahead and do as always. We go through these articles. We kind of look at the main points. They put main bulletin points. And I kind of give my thoughts and opinions based on them and kind of create a topic of discussion based on the bulletin points they point out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Link down below in the description will be the article if you want to read it yourself. Alright, so number 5, my 5 biggest concerns going into this game. Obviously, number 5 is Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry, if we can shut him down, we win this game. Point blank, plain and simple, we win this game if we can shut down Derrick Henry. Because we're not going to get beat by Ryan Tannehill in this game. Traylon Burks is out. You know, they only have DeAndre Hopkins. They have their left guard, who's their first round draft pick. He's out for this game. So they're going to be a mess on offense in this game unless Derrick Henry takes over the game. So that's number 5's biggest concern is Derrick Henry. Number 4 is going to be Joe Burrow's injury, right? Calf strain injury, problems with that. How is that going to, kind of translate in the NFL here? Or sorry, translate for this upcoming week here. Not in the NFL. This upcoming week. How is that going to work out? Number 3 is going to be Tanner Hudson. Is Tanner Hudson going to be able to really help us out on offense? Because last week, other than Jamar Chase, now again, keep in mind, this does come down mainly because of the fact that Joe Burrow has the calf strain. But last week, we really weren't able to move the ball, on a couple of those drives. And a lot of the reasons why was because other than Jamar Chase, no one else really was getting open / catching the football. T. Higgins obviously tried to, but he dropped 5 catches in that game. Then Tyler Boyd, he had one pass. He had a couple passes he caught, but then he had one pass that was intercepted when he tried to go on single coverage. It was a mess. It really was, right? So that's number 3 there is going to be how does Tanner Hudson, really take the next step forward, and will he take the next step forward, for us when Irv Smith is going to be out, right? If he wants to make this roster, he's going to have to make a play or two. Number 2 biggest concern for this game, is the run game. Are we going to utilize the run game a lot, or are we just going to do what we did last week, which is kind of, take a step back and just not utilize it at all? And if we do that, then again, we're allowing more chances for problems to happen when it comes to their defensive line getting after Joe Burrow. So, I guess the last one I will say, the last concern here, there's not really many other concerns. Honestly, if we get down in this game or if we play from behind, the concern really would be that I don't know if we can come back if we get down by too much. But then again, like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there's any scenario where we get down by a lot in any way possible. So I'm going to be interested to see what their 5 biggest concerns are, because I could barely there list 4 concerns that I'm actually looking for going into this game. And I think I'm stretching a little bit when it comes to, some of them. So, let's get right into what they say. Number 5, Joe Burrow's injury. Yeah, that's definitely, I think that's the main concern. I think that's the main concern going into this game, because there was talks and rumors of potentially sitting him out for the next 4 weeks. He plays last week, we win the game. Luckily, no one gets hurt, no one gets touched, everything is good. But again, you kind of got to deal with this every single week here, where every week he's not healing, he's not sitting on the sideline, he's actually out there playing, and he could re-aggravate it at any given time. So that is definitely probably, honestly, I'd probably say really the only concern in this game. Number 1 is him. We want to make sure Joe is back, Joe's healthy, Joe's 100%, because everything else can work out and work into place as long as Joe is good in this game and not taking a hit and not, risking injury even farther than what he already has had so far. Alright, number 2. The short week and other injuries. The short week, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Now, obviously, yes, it sucks because we played Monday night and then we played Sunday, but usually when the short week is a problem is when you play Monday night and then you play Thursday. Luckily, we play Sunday, which is a lot easier, let's say, because again, we have some more rest, and obviously we're able to get another week of Joe Burrow being healthy and going through processes and not having to worry about his calf strain, which is nice, right? That's definitely a huge plus. Now, what I will say that this short week and other injuries are going to be really hurtful is when we play in week 10, because I believe week 10 we play Sunday night, I want to say, and then we play it next Thursday, which is not going to be easy at all. But the other injuries, Chuck Sizzle definitely sucks that he's out, but I'm not like sitting here really saying that this is a detrimental injury for a team moving forward. It sucks because of the potential, and we drafted him. We gave up high draft capital, but next man up mentality. He wasn't really anything spectacular at offense anyway. He was more or less just a punt returner. So we just got next man up mentality. Trayvon Williams. It's your job to be the punt returner, or somebody else. And it sucks that we cut all those guys to get him and put him in that situation, and now he's hurt, but it is what it is. He's going to be out for the next 4 weeks at least, and we'll see where it is moving forward. And our last guy we have here, of course, is Irv Smith. And we knew going into the season that there was a chance Irv doesn't play much at all with his injury history. So, again, like I said before, that's a next man up mentality. A lot of people were, really banging on the fence here about keeping Tanner Hudson this offseason, and then now he has a chance, right? Last week, 2 receptions, 20 yards, didn't really do much of anything, but this week it's another chance for him to really take over this job. We brought back Mitchell Wilcox for a reason. We got Drew Sample in there, so it's really a chance for, next man up mentality. I wouldn't want to say it's a concern, either of these, now again, because we don't have that much of a critical player hurt. Obviously Joe, but Joe, based on what he has told us, he is okay for this week. Yeah, Derrick Henry, number 3. Like I said before, that's really my main concern outside of Joe Burrow's injury, is going to be Derrick Henry. If he can easily take over this game and control this game very, very well. Now, we have a great track record versus Derrick Henry, and this defense is absolutely ferocious. And Lou Dini knows, going into this game, stacking the box every single play and making Ryan Tannehill beat you is going to be the only thing we can do in this game to, play our best on defense, right? We're not going to be focused more in the pass and let Derrick Henry beat you. That's usually how Derrick Henry beats you, right? Because you can't just commit to the run. You have to look at the pass too. And, Tannehill usually has Treylon Burks out there. He usually has DeAndre Hopkins, a couple other guys. So you have to respect that. But because there's no Treylon Burks and it's just DeAndre Hopkins, it's really, honestly, just a cover one, double cover the left-hand side DeAndre, and stack the box. And, that's really what your game plan is in this game. You're going to be most likely blitzing and trying to get in the backfield as much as humanly possible versus Tennessee Titans squad, because there's no reason to sit back and let anything happen, right? And as long as your offense keep going, get good drives going, our defense will be rested and we'll be fine for the rest of this game. Flags. Listen, last week's 3 false starts call was definitely concerning, right? Orlando Brown, Joe Mixon, and Tyler Boyd got 3 calls. And then we also got a PI versus, PI with, what's his name? T. Higgins. The PI with T. Higgins, I really wouldn't say is a penalty where it's like, oh, he messed up. I think he got that pass interference call because he was pissed off that, he couldn't get separation on the guy all night long. And it was just kind of like a frustration, what, get off me, man. And he pushed him and then he caught the ball right away. So it's kind of like, what, man, just get off me. I'm tired of this. I'm having a bad night. He's already, the frustration levels are very high because, he wants to help us out. He wants to get us to win. He is on a contract year too, so he wants to put up some stats. So, and he's coming off a 2-touchdown, 86-yard game. So it was, I think, more or less just frustration. It wasn't really him, doing something where it's like, oh, yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He was just ticked off that the game was going the way it did. So he shoved the guy off of him. It is what it is at the end of the day. So I don't really think that's that much of a big deal. But I will say, though, the flags, the false starts, I mean, that's just all coaching. That's all discipline. That's stuff that will be ironed out this week. And I promise you they went through it. And they really honed in on that this week in process. I do not believe that's going to be a problem / is a concern for this upcoming game, and me personally. October in a road contest. Yeah, October is a little bit different than September. October, I feel like there's three different stages in football, right? You got September, which is the early football. That's when, you're kind of figuring yourself out. You kind of don't know exactly who you're going to be this season, but, you're trying to figure it out, right? You're trying to kind of hold on. And if you don't start off hot, like 3-0, 4-0, then you're like, okay, listen, guys, we need to figure something out. Maybe we need to readjust. It's not over. It's still going. We're still fine. And then October comes around, and then it's like, whoo, okay. And I would say October, more or less, October and November, I feel like is the same month. It's like one period. October 1st to November 30th is a one period. And I'd say that's stage 2, and then stage 3 is December, and then stage 4 is the playoffs in January, February. But, like, when it comes to stage 2, again, October 1st to November 30th, this is like when it's make or break, right? You either find out, are we going to be a playoff team, or are we going to suck, right? That's just, it is what it is, right? So, I'm not too concerned about the fact it's October 1st, but it's definitely one of those situations where, yeah, October, things get different. It gets colder out, gets more weathery, snow starts falling eventually. It's a tough contest, and a road contest. Now, luckily, we only go down to Tennessee. We're, coming from Cincinnati, so it's not like we're going across the country. But, yeah, no, whenever you play in someone else's stadium, it's never easy. Alright. That's it. Yeah, I don't really think, this is not a concern to me. October's not a concern to me. Flags isn't a concern to me. Concern to me? Not really. Yeah, very much. So I would say 2 out of their 5. And is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Out of their 5, I say the only thing I'm really concerned about is 2 of them. Calf strain and obviously Derrick Henry. Like I said, I put my other, 3 in there that I would be more concerned about than that is the run game. How are we going to utilize the run game in this game? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? How is our offense going to look in general with Tanner Hudson? Is it going to, Irv Smith going to, being out is going to hurt us in this game, or are you not going to be able to move the ball, right? So that's kind of that. And then I said, what was my last one? I forget what my last one was, but yeah, it's going to be a good game, hopefully. Hopefully it's going to be a good game. I think it will be, but you never know. Any given Sunday, anything could happen. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.